Hey guys, enter the stars. And according to the mainstream media, 2 out of 3 people think you and I are crazy. But when you look at the real polls, the true picture emerges. This is the video of President Biden saying how he's going to steamroll over people's rights and enact mandates, sweeping mandates, unprecedented mandates, and look how people are responding. Here's the truth about how people feel about this. You've got about 1/4 of Americans that are the ones that are tricked and deceived and buy the propaganda, and you have 3/4 of Americans that don't like what's happening. But you would never know that. And this is how mind control works. This is exactly how it works. You tell people what you say they're thinking, and then they start thinking the way you say they're thinking. Now, here's another one. Let's look at this one. 51,000 people. Now, some of these have turned off their ratings, so you got to be careful with this. Actually, let's look at this one. Let's see what CNBC television says here. Looks like their live chat was turned off. Wow, look at this. Comments turned off. I guess the American people's voice does not matter. Look at the ratings here. This is even worse. 3,000 out of 18,000 people. Now, people can say all they want. Oh, you can't use YouTube polls, but this would be the most accurate way because everybody comes to YouTube. Democrats and Republicans, don't they? I wonder what the demographic is for political affiliation. Do you see how this really isn't a political issue? This has more to do about exactly what Biden said it had nothing to do with, right? Which is freedoms and rights. Has anyone ever asked the American people if they just want to take their chances and go with this spamdemic just as it is without any help? Has anyone asked the American people if they want to just do that? No, they're just doing what they want to do, telling us how they're going to handle this. So, very different picture here compared to what the mainstream media is telling us, isn't it? Now, YouTube's going to look at this, but they really don't have an argument against this. Cross-section of people that come to YouTube doesn't really follow any political lines. There's people from all walks of life and all political affiliations that are going to watch this video of the president's address. It's not like all right-leaning people are watching this video. Let's see. Let's look at one more here. Is this the one I clicked on? Okay, let's see what this one says. Okay. Wow. USA Today. Why would they turn off the chat replay? Now, if you look at the comments in a lot of these videos, they actually reflect what you're seeing in the ratings here. This one's even worse. You've got, let's see, let's just do a roundabout here. Let's say 500 to 5,000. So this is about 10% of the people like what Biden's doing. 90% don't. I think that's about right. And this is across the board, you guys. Across the board. Now, what got people upset? Well, probably his sweeping mandate that every company over 100 employees will have to have this. I can imagine that this is probably what people are upset about. Or weekly testing. So you're basically treated as the unclean, even if you're not quote unquote sick or carrying it. You could be carrying it according to their science. But this is across the board, you guys. Every single one of these videos from mainstream media sources. Some of them have turned the comments off. I don't think anyone's turned their ratings off yet. That'll be next. They don't want this out there. So I'm documenting it. Let's take a look at NBC News. Let's see what they're doing here. And if you haven't heard this address, you probably want to hear this. NBC. Now, I expect these numbers to change. These ratings. This is almost 50-50. That's about 1/3. So again, 2/3 disagree with Biden, 1/3 agree. A little bit better odds there. But you got to remember that most of the people going to NBC News are going to be left-leaning. And even with that, you don't have an overwhelming majority of the people liking the video. So there it is, you guys. We will see what happens. With ratings like this, I can't imagine that they're going to be able to push forward with what they're wanting to do. So we'll see what happens in the coming days. Take care and be safe, you guys.